do some shooting. Oh, beautiful. Suzanne, only you could be, but not banned, but timed out by what's it called, Nightbot, before the streams even started. What are you like? I don't really know why it timed you out, because it wasn't exactly one after the other. But anyways, right, hold on a minute. That's fine. I don't know. Don't know why it does it, but anyways, behave yourself, Suzanne. Right, good evening, everybody. Excuse me whilst I just correct some things to do with the stream. Oops, I didn't press any buttons there. With approximately 3 minutes to go to the start of the stream, turned on my light, turned on that light, adjusted my microphone, looked up, my camera and tripod weren't there because they were still in my bag after the weekend. So mild panic to put all the proper things back in and all the cables and changing the battery over and just completely forgot about the camera. So anyways, I hope you're all well. Right, let's get started properly. Yes, Suzanne, just behave when you're in chat and then you'll not get stopped. What else is going on? Good evening, Peter. That does 0 Fahrenheit. That is pretty bloody cold. And now windy. Yes, a good day to stay indoors. Good. Hi, Aileen. And good evening, Chris. Am I saying what else? Good evening, Simon. Good evening, Johan. I hope you are well. Right then. Right, that's not the best start of the evening. Completely forgetting to put the camera on, or having the camera in place, ready to go. You imagine the start of the 6 o'clock news, and there's not Martin Bashir, whatever he's called, looks up, and there's no camera in front of him. Can you imagine that? That's pretty much what I did today. Evening, Anne. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Right, so have I got anything to say tonight? I probably did, but I've completely forgotten all. It's all passed me by after this last 3 minutes of panic trying to get the stream going. Thank you very much, Peter. Very kind of you. Yes, if you're one of my Patreon followers that hasn't checked their either Patreon account or hasn't checked their email yet, then this month's wallpaper is out. Always appears on the 2nd. Yes, and yeah, that's out. And for those of you that aren't a wallpaper, aren't a Patreon, the thumbnail for today's episode, that is the wallpaper. Brain, mouth, not connected today. That is the wallpaper that has gone out to the Patreon followers today to decorate their desktops for the month of March. Yes, we are in March. I've lost the plot today. I must warn you in. This stopped. Chat broken or not? No. Nobody's chatting. That's fine. Right. Have I got anything else to say? Patreon mentioned. Sorry. Behave yourself, microphone. Anything else? Yeah, that's the big thing. The main thing. I actually went out and took photographs at the weekend. Twice. And even stranger, they were both sunrises. So I was up extremely, extremely early for both of them. And it was quite good fun being out. apart from I'm still tired now. After two, well, basically both mornings I was awake from at least 5 o'clock to go out for it. But yeah, very enjoyable. So I've got a few ICM images from one of the days to process. Flew the drone around a bit at sunrise. That's quite effective. Turned out quite nice. Not sure when you'll actually ever see it, but it turned out quite nice. Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, and it was taken with a tripod as well. How strange the world has turned. Oh, that's very kind of you, Aileen. But yes, almost a year since we all got locked down, and haven't we had a lot of fun ever since? Well, first lockdown was quite good. I quite enjoyed that because the weather was nice, and it was nice to be sat at home, not exactly doing nothing all day, but it was just nice to spend time at home, just chilling out, relaxing. There was a lot of panic because you were just wondering what the hell you're going to do. But it was quite an effective period of time, which I was hoping to be very productive in. And here we are, and a year later, I am still yet to be as productive as what I intended in that first little spell of lockdown. I had plans for this second lockdown and plans for the third lockdown. Still haven't done any of them, so. Actually, no, it wasn't a result of the lockdown. The second lockdown, I intend to make a photograph every day with the film camera, which I got. But of course, the film camera kind of seized up on me. The mirror was stuck in the up. It was either in the up or down position. The position where you look through the eyepiece and you can't see anything because the mirror's in the way. It was stuck in that position, so I didn't actually do any of that. But I did finish the film at the weekend, so that is now in the post, off to get developed. And fingers crossed we get about 2 frames out of that, because most of the frames will be blurry shots from inside my office as I'm trying to get the mechanism moving again. So that was a good waste of 15 quid, wasn't it? As well as the cost of the film as well. I didn't think how much it was. One rule of Hector 100. So we'll see how that turns out. It was a bit tricky anyway, but good fun. Anyways, Peter, I have not yet got my new camera yet, as I keep on always going online and searching mbp.com. There's a bit of a plug for them. Well, maybe it's not a plug because they've never got the bloody camera I want. mbp.com. Let's go for the latest. See what they do or don't have. Bear with me. D850. Choose. Is there any? I must admit I haven't checked my bank account recently, so I don't actually know if I've got enough for it. Right, there's 3 available. One at 1,900 quid, one at 2 grand, and another at 1,900, which is still a little bit more than what I was hoping for. I would like to be paying about 1.7. I can get one for 1,700 with maybe less than 70,000 shutter actuations. Would be quite nice. But at the moment, they only seem to be in excellent or like new condition, which is good, but I don't want to be spending quite that. I would like a little bit of leeway. So we will not be purchasing it, but basically I need to purchase it this month. Otherwise, that income will be have to go down as profit on the old business, and then that'll have to be declared for tax, which is a bit crap. So I spend said money before the end of the month, then I can write that off as a business expense, obviously, which is better than paying tax. Not that I'm anywhere near paying tax for this year, because it's been crap. So anyways, all right. Good evening, Kathy. Hope you're well. Good evening, Stephanie. Good afternoon. I hope you're well. be just a couple of weeks, or even down to the few days now, before the March edition of the ICM Photo Mag will be out. So if you haven't got yours ordered yet, head on over to ICM Photo Mag. Stephanie will have a fantastic issue ready to go, I am sure. I must pull my finger out and get mine ordered. I think I still need to order December's because I am so disorganized. So it's all good. Good evening, Benny. Hope you're well. Yes, it's always nice when everybody's says hello to everybody else in the chat. Good. Yeah. So Peter, does she make all the money that actually pays the bills in the house, and you just buy gear? That sounds like a good deal. March the 15th for the ICM Photo Mag. Get that ordered. Also, there was, what did I say? The Elements Photo Mag for your probably very traditional landscape photography. I saw that came out this very recently. So I think if there's anything that's come about from lockdown is the proliferation of lots of people making zines, photo magazines, whether it's digital or in print or whatever, and doing lots of stuff like that. It seems to be the thing to have done because we can't all go anywhere. So lots of magazines and stuff floating around at the moment, which is good. Everybody's being creative, keeping their stuff out there. All good fun, all good stuff. You want to talk to me about a special for June, the anniversary issue? Oh, that sounds like work. Not a problem, Stephanie. I would like to speak to you soon anyway about... I'm going to have to get the podcast going again because it keeps on costing me money every month and I have done nothing with it since October. I need guests. I need people to come on and talk about photography and ICM and stuff like that. So I will be in touch with you soon, Stephanie, because we'll no doubt have magazines to push for everybody's benefit. Right then. Well, anything else I was going to mention? No camera yet. Went out on photographing. Patreon stuff's coming up. Just a reminder, for next week, I have another camera club talk to do next Tuesday. So I will not be on doing Tuesday night edits next Tuesday. Unfortunately, everybody does things on a Tuesday. It must be. It's quite annoying. And I possibly... Forget now. I'll have to check dates, but I think the 30th of March as well. So apart from this might be... There's maybe only one more Tuesday night edits in March coming up. Because they are... All the evening bookings seem to be for... Tuesday the 9th. I've got another one soon. I don't know whether I've got two in June, in March. For the 30th. Oh no, I'll get another two in before the end of March. But yeah, there's lots of Tuesdays in March. There's only going to be 3 Tuesday night edits. Because everybody keeps on booking me. And you can't turn down money. As much as I like making my £1.50 off of a Tuesday night edits, then I will have to chase the bigger bucks, unfortunately. I'll be here for 3, Suzanne. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll cope without me for 2 weeks out of the next 5. You'll be all right. Yes, Peter. Well, I'm saying I write it down on actual paper. I sometimes write it down on actual paper. It's a bit... Thing is, I would normally leave it in my head and just have a nagging feeling that I've got something on that day. But I've got... As I'm getting older, the memory's getting worse and worse, so I do have to write things down. And for Zoom stuff, I tend to make the Zoom booking, and then that goes into Google Calendar, and then that reminds me on my phone. Otherwise, I would forget them. So it depends what it is. If it's a if it's sort of like a traditional booking, I will write it down with pen and paper in a diary. Thing is, I only tend to use a diary up until maybe April, very sparsely, and then it's forgotten about. Never used again for the rest of the year. Usually because things quieten down or get too busy as things go on. Good evening, Diane. Hope you are well. Just give me a second. Shut the riffraff out. While the dog comes in. Right, before I waffle on far too much, let's get started. Because tonight, even though he's probably not here, David Byrne sent me some images to play around with. So I'm going to edit one of his and then one of mine from the weekend. So let us get underway. Screen should be way forward. Fantastic. Everything hopefully still working. Right, so David very kindly sent me a bunch of images of Warkworth Castle, which is not far from me, maybe 15 miles away, something like that. Very pretty castle looks over a river and stuff. So this is the kind of the distant view, which I've photographed myself in the past, and then the closer view from the village. But this is very much looking up at the main keep and part of the wall. It's not an angle I particularly like. If I was photographing it as well, I prefer the other side, but then again, the sun was shining on this one. So we will. Which one do I go for? Do I go for the close-up view or do I go for the distant view? There's probably more to play with on the close-up view. The distant view, there's maybe a little bit less to. I think he might have shot them from slightly different positions as well, just to make my job harder. So, I think he shot this with these little. Is it the Fuji X30? I think he got. He's been having a bit of a wobble, and again, like Nigel's the other week, was it all last week, wasn't it? These Fujis, they've got a bit of noise. I've just noticed as I zoom in here. I don't know if you can see, but they're quite noisy on the ISO front. So, actually, let's just have a quick play with these, because this is a nice shape to this one. Come on. Detail. Flatten out some noise. It's made a bit of a difference. Maybe it's made it a bit too smooshy. That's a word. Might be, might not be. Built in, fair enough. Right, so let's go for this one. Basic. I'm just going to colour this up. I think he actually shot this in the snow, when there was snow on the ground, or certainly on the path anyway. So let's go for a bit of stroke. No, let's keep it bright. I'm going to raise the highlights a bit, because just to get rid of some of this movement up here, because it kind of dulls the sky a bit. And the shadows go on, then I will. It lights up the village on the riverside here. Quite nice. Okay, go for daylight on that. Do we enhance? Do we go down the snowy route, or do we go for the with the daylight setting for the color balance? I think it highlights that it's a wintry day, like a cold wintry day. So that might be the one to go for. Probably indecent enough. Increase the vibrancy a bit. Let's not go too mad with dehaze. Yeah, think that'll do to start with, and then it's just a case of, let's just apply all them settings to them all, and then I'll figure out which ones I'm going to use for the edit. Right, so edit-wise, I think we will go for definitely this one. No, not them two. Excuse me. Yeah, my belly rumbling. So those ones. These ones have a bit, there's a little, it's getting in between. There's a bit of detail which we can hopefully pick up. Now you can see the houses in the village there, church in the background. Yeah, and this is like a roadside path leading from one village to another. Hopefully we'll be able to build something with that. Quite a nice blurry one. And then again, this one's got a bit of detail which with a bit of blur. So let's see how these four blend together. So we will go to open layers in Photoshop as we usually do. And wait forever for it to load. Takes so long. While it starts loading, I just want to say thank you so much to my patrons on Patreon for their continued support each and every month. Massively, of course, they get their monthly wallpaper along with a monthly Zoom chat and possibly an extra video, depending on what I've been up to. So there's a few goodies go out every month to my patrons on Patreon, and always a big thanks to Larry and Jerry at the top there for joining at the Maul versus Obi-Wan tier. So that means they get special mention. So thank you to those and everybody else that contributes on Patreon. Did somebody ask what smooshy was? I thought everybody knew what smooshy meant. Or is. Good stuff. Actually, I'm probably not helping myself by having that open. But close that down. Get on better. Right, so that was laid up. Right. So now there's a problem where we find out that it's all in different positions. Mr. Byrne didn't take them all from the same spot. Just to annoy me. Come on. You do. Tiredness kicking in. Right, let's go get rid of all of these and start layering them up. Good God, that's miles out. Let us actually go to multiply, and then we can see what we're doing by then. Right, here we go. There we are. Move castle over there. Should work. Move that one there. And then this is, at this point you realise nothing's to scale. Because he zoomed in. Didn't he? Right. Everything getting a layer. They all multiplied, yeah. Right, darken. Screen, no. Go through the blend modes. Pin light sometimes gets me out of trouble. produce, gives us some kind of fun version, but not. Didn't mean to press the mouse. Right, this is going to be tricky. Maybe just go multiply and then kind of reduce the opacities. You've got to give it a try, Benny. I mean, it's dead easy. Any fool can do it. I think maybe it's that one that doesn't quite fit. I drop the opacity of this one. And the opacity of the back one. That just lightens things up again. Right, and then we'll crop in. Who left that on? We want freehand cropping, not stuck at a ratio. Something like that. The blues are very vivid on the old Fujis. So, well, probably a very, very blue sky kind of day, so that might be why. Let's get the curve going. Let's lift that brighter. Kind of losing the definition and the subject that is the castle. Maybe we need to drop the opacity a little bit on that. No. The top layer, but bring it back in from this one. That's completely misaligned, isn't it? Maybe that one needs to come up. Yeah, whatever. Something like that. So, what we do want to do, get rid of them bloody blues. Why is that affecting that? Should be affecting the light. Grr. Photoshop, why you're not doing what I want you to do? Hell with it, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We will go to fill. And then drop the opacity, dull that sky back a bit. Something like that. Mask that off. Yeah, to do it the right way around this time. Dulls that sky back a little bit. So, you know, this is the thing about snowy images and very strong skies. Excuse me while I pick my bogies. Great thing. Remember, you're on camera, Andy. Because usually I work with a bright sky and a darker foreground, whereas when under snowy conditions, foreground is white, sky is probably, on a day like this, bright blue, but obviously darker than the snow, so it's kind of reversed. So that's the kind of thing I've got to remember I'm working with. So it is a little bit trickier. We've got a bit more light there. That blue is just far too bright. Hi, Emmanuel. This is 3 layers of ICM supplied by my good mate David. So not my shot. These are three frames donated by him. So the movementy stuff is all done in camera, and we are now just playing around to see if I can challenged me to see if I can make something reasonable out of it. So that's where we're at the minute, Emmanuel. We are so the images were all taken in camera as a single image. So no multiple exposures or anything within the camera, just as it is. Right. So just gonna try and see if I can go one way or the other. Not a problem, Emmanuel. Go with that. I'm really just experimenting here. I like a bit of contrast in the maybe we'll leave it at that. Without it, with it. Yeah, and then I'm gonna add in another curves adjustment layer. Just gonna drop that down slightly. Just gonna add in a little bit of red. Lots of red. A little bit of red, just purely for, you know, along this line here. So I'm going to mask the rest of it out. So we're going to these, invert it, and then a big paintbrush. What's opacity? 67, yeah. Effectively, a little bit of that. Just a wee hint of colour. Makes all the difference. Right then, so we are now into this position. Let's bung this into Analog Efex Pro and see what we can get. I mean, the only concern I've got here is the lack of definition of the castle, which should be the main subject. So that is a bit undistinguished, so I'm not that confident where this image is going. Had I photographed it myself and not David just, you know, challenging me with it, I would maybe have photographed it slightly to one side composition wise, because you do get a lovely view towards the river bend as it goes round the corner, which is quite nice. And also maybe I don't know if he shot, I think he shot this fairly wide. I would maybe have shot it a little bit tighter. I'd like if I'd had a mid-range zoom. I know I photographed it myself wide. It does diminish into a, you know, feels like a Canaletto painting because it's all just a very thin horizon with buildings just peeking out over the top. Right, previews look quite promising. Ooh. So we may have a couple of options as we could jump into here. Obviously trying to do this quickly because it's 8 o'clock already. That's my fault for rambling a lot at the start. So yeah, through the presets. If you're new here, by the way, you can buy these presets for Analog Efex Pro 2. There will be details below in the description. I'm vlogging my... Yeah, I can't fool you, Peter, at all. There will always be red somewhere. Today I was looking at RGB LED lights that I could, like actually turn off the main light in here and light my background, but do it red just for you guys. So that looks quite fun. What's this one look like? Yeah, that one looks interesting. This broken shape here, so it kind of wipes out. But if it went the other way, I think the composition would be better. Colour wise, this probably looks more classical Victorian snowy scene. Evening, Alan. How are you doing? Actually, David might be back at work. That's maybe why he's not on at the moment. I don't know. He has been off for quite a while, so I'd imagine he's probably back on board. Don't know. Right. Make your mind up, Andy. Stop wasting time. Maybe there isn't a lot of versions here. There's only just... There's maybe less. That's quite moody. Have you done any more processing from the weekend, Alan? I think this bit's the problem here. Right. So let's have a look at that one. And this one, and that one, and that one. Yeah, I think it's actually reasonably easy, Peter. You can just do one and then back into Photoshop and then come back in another one and then layer it on top of that. This one probably needs a bit of movement. Just moving this around, just trying to obliterate all this stuff on the left hand side. That's as big as it goes. I'm not a big fan of that area. Actually, if I could come around here. Yeah, Suzanne, unfortunately the stream is about 15 seconds behind what I'm actually doing, so... Right, let's just try to get this into a decent position. It's all about positioning this second layer and how it interacts with the rest of it, because obviously light's going to dominate dark, so it's going to wipe that out. So it means I can use the sky from over here to layer it over this part of the image to get rid of that distraction, and then position it in such a way that it uses this part of this verge to lead in. Fingers crossed. Did you, Alan? Did you manage to get your frame out of the video that you were on about yesterday? I watched my. That's maybe a bit better. I watched my stuff back again. Oh, I quite like that actually. Last night, no, this morning, just to see if there was anything worthy of capturing the frame out of the video from. These bloody drones are fancy. Oh, by the way, whilst I'm talking to Alan about drones, because he had his Mavic Air 2 out and I had my little Mini 2 out at the weekend, that the new DJI FPV drone that's been announced today. Wow, that looks complicated to fly. You know, flying my little Mini, which, you know, it does forward, back, left and right, and spins. That's complicated enough. This one that DJI just announced today, good God, that's as scary as anything. Right then, so this is potentially looking okay. I don't know. I'm not convinced. No. Let's go change the film type. No. No, that's because it's very strong, isn't it? It's got subtle. Yeah, if it's not going to be, I think even video, it's going to be a little bit blurry, no matter how rigid it is. Thank you very much, Alex. Very kind of you. And also welcome along to the stream. Right, Lindsay, yeah. Well, that did nothing. Come back. Still battling with this reasonably slow machine. Let's go away. Adding in fully circle. I all of a sudden don't know. Can you just turn that off just to see if it's doing anything? Losing a bit of, yeah, bit of contrast. Zero that back. Let's reduce the contrast by half. See what we get. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit better. I'm concerned about the double exposure. I'm going to bring this scaling in a bit. There we go, to enhance the height of the dramery thing of the castle. There we go. We've got a castle, walkway by the water, river, etc. Village in the background. It just disappears on the left. Just very nicely blurs out. Quite nice that. I don't know why I'm whispering, by the way. I like my lopsided images where I've just wiped out one side because I don't like it. So it's not too bad. Yeah, there's not any colour to do in there. Right, okay, that's one version. I'm going to come in and do another quick version on here. Like if you zoom in enough on anything, Alan, it's going to lose the pixels. You know, not everybody shoots with a Sony and has lots of megapixels to play with. Some of us are used to shooting with 12 megapixels. Right. Why does that look greener now? Not to worry. Yeah. I'm back to Analog Efex Pro. They're quite. I mean, for sticking on social media. You know, pulling a frame out of a video is good enough. It's going to be slightly smudgy, maybe, but it works. Thank you very much, Anne. Very kind of you. Right, this one, next one, do I go for? Try this one. I'm just envious of all them megapixels that you've got and the better drone. Right, let's try a similar layout for this one. See if it works. Come down here. Right, where the bloody hell are... Actually, there's my... Right, that layer is... That needs to go all the way around there. That's why, because it's actually the correct way up for a change. I don't particularly want to do the same again. Like some variation. Actually, let's go fully on end. On end being the technical term. Right, let's go about right, let's change the balance. Just doesn't it not working this time? No, it's not working this time. Right, let's go nice and soft this one. Let's just try and check these ones, these newer ones. No. Right, so this one, let's just see if we can get a line across there. Move. See what I should be doing instead of potentially spending money on a new camera, I should be spending money on a top of the range PC, and then I'll not have to wait for it to render every time I just try to move it a millimeter across. I didn't. Well, I'm saying no. I didn't get out. When the sea threat rolled in, I thought, oh, I'll stick the drone up, and to get a view over the top of it. And of course, I've got my maximum height set at the legal limit of 120 meters or 400 foot. And the top of the clouds was exactly at 120 meters. So just looking across, I could just see the tops of the clouds. But I couldn't be bothered to bring it down to change the maximum height and break the law. So I just carried. I just brought it back in, flew it around in the mist. And I wouldn't say I nearly lost it, but it was about 40 foot up, and I was going to bringing it down, bringing it home to land it. And usually it says landing when you're about 2 foot from the floor. It's when it was 40 foot up and it said landing, and I'm like, no, you're not. Obviously, it couldn't detect the ground below. You know, it was a bit high because I was thinking it was just going to drop that 2 foot to what it thought was the ground and then just plummet. So I had to con it into its way home because it was pretty thick. Well, that's yeah. Just slowly, computer, just catch up. That's quite nice, and I think I would probably just chop this bottom off and go for my typical, 16 by 9, 2 by 1 or something like that. Just a soft little balanced image. Oh, that's even nicer with a little bit more exposure balance to the other. Very abstract, very loose. All right, might not have time for my image. Thank God for that. Yeah, let's leave the detail extraction there. Increase the contrast just for giggles. Strong. What was it? -21, wasn't it? Yep. Vignette. Do we need a vignette? We do. That's not so good. So do we want the vignette to highlight the foreground or the? Let's go. Oh, it's a bit. Yeah, let's leave that up there. That'll do. Stephanie, I was given it this computer, and it's a much improvement on the old one, but I don't know why it just struggles as I'm moving things around. I wouldn't say it struggles, it's just a little bit jarring because it renders the image very slowly. Other than that, it's great. Plays games. Fantastic. Follow me on Twitch. Watch me play games really badly. Right, lens vignette, film type. Yeah, that's fine. What was it? Let's reduce the strength a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. Reduce the fadedness. About there. Yeah, about there. Levels and curves, fine. So yeah, I think that one will do. So we've got two versions. Very good, very good. Yes, Peter, one way old ruins land. Well, Alan will tell you that we were out on Sunday morning and I was flying the drone. I was just hovering out on the just outside the gatehouse of Dunsinmore Castle. And then it just straightened you, like immediately, not even a flinch. It just said, radio controller disconnected from the aircraft. I was just waiting for it to come back, and it didn't. And it was like, why is it not coming back online? So I was thinking, well, at least all I've got to do is wait for half an hour and it'll come back home. Because it knows with the home point. And yeah, all I needed to do was unplug it and plug the connector back into the phone. And then it connected. But for a little bit, there was a bit of panic initially. So yeah, right. Let us save these. Hopefully not take too long. God, it's 8:21 already. If we're gonna do my edit, then it's gonna be a very quick one. Ekerl, whatever you want to, however you want to pronounce that. Explain what I'm doing here. I am fiddling around until I find something that I like, and then saying it's art. That's pretty much what this is. Try to explain myself as well as we go along. Sometimes it does, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Thank you very much, Sten. Yeah. What kind of CPU is some kind of, I think it's mainly it's CPU is mainly like a server build CPU. The guy that gave us it, I think he ran it as like a media server. But I mean, it runs games and stuff, which is. Thank you very much, Echo. GPU, it has got a, what the hell are they called? It's a GTX 780, I think, which isn't great anymore. So the GPU's a bit naff, and it's got 16 gig of RAM. I did put 16 more in, but it must have been slightly different versions because it hasn't recognized it. So there's a few things to sort out, a few things to buy. I'm just gonna flatten that down. I'll save as, and then give that another name. Save. Close that out. And that should be in there. Yep, it is. Where's it? That one. That one. And that one, I give that one a 3. So very, very quickly going to do a crop so it catches up. We've all got to remember the Lightroom is slow on everything, not just my machine. Right, so 16 by 9 kind of images, something like that. Maybe it's a bit. 2 by 3 for the old landscape kind of composition. Very narrow. See, this is why I still try to shoot everything with a basic composition, because I find that the castle there is a bit central. It would like to be just a little bit further to the left. It is tricky to do when you're doing ICM, is to get everything, you know, retain the composition as you move the camera. It can be tricky. So anyways, right, and this one, ooh, crop of this, I don't know. There we go. It's on its third line, you know, left hand third, top line third. So 4.3 is actually just a little bit short on what the actual composition is. So something like that. Keep a little bit of the blue in the sky there, and the corner of the frame coming in, the path kind of coming in, starting in the corner. There you go. It's just not quite in the center anymore, which is fine. Right, so there you go. That is that one of David's. Thank you very much, David, if he's watching on catch up. Thank you very much, sir, for the challenge. I like the second one. This one I'm not so keen on. Now, it's always the thing. First one, you think, oh, quite like that. Second one, you do it again and you think, I like that one better. So, right, I'm just going to come back to my face because I've got to open up another Lightroom catalog to go back to this. Me follow the rules, Peter. That'd be quite the thing, wouldn't it? Thank you, Diane. Very kind of you. So yeah, it is. Now just got to wait for Lightroom to open up again with the 2021 catalog. And then we'll do a very quick edit on a sunrise shot from Barbara Beach. Should be very, well, I'm saying it's going to be really quick. I'm hoping it's going to be quick. So I don't want to keep you here any longer than you need to be. Come on. So slow. Would be nice if Lightroom wasn't so resource hungry. It's extremely slow. It's still sitting there. Render the bloody user interface. My God. Unless it's crashed, of course. Oh no, it's still good. A little blue thing twirling around. Right, we're getting there. So slow. Come on. Yeah, so this was Bambara Beach on Saturday morning. Lovely, lovely morning. Very, very nice. Did pretty. I used tripods. Scandalous, wasn't it? Thank you very much, Urkel. Yes. Follow me everywhere. Come on. Slow. Right. There's a few of the bloody tear my hair out if I had any. Right, you. Zoom out. Fit. Stay there. Right. Honestly. Bloody thing. It was lovely, Peter, I must admit. It was worth getting up. Don't tell Alan, mind. Otherwise he'll have me out every weekend. Although this Saturday looks promising. Nice day, nice looking weather. Right, so I did see a couple of shots that I was going to blend together. That was one of them. That one's distant again. Yeah, so we want that one that one, and that one. I'm gonna go for that. Let's go to develop. Do that, I'll do deal. Think I shot at it. ISO 200, so yeah, I did. So extra noise. Let's go click auto and see what it does. Not too bad. A bit bright. Would like to stay a little bit darker. Let's go contrasty, a little bit of exposure. There we go. Bring the blacks down a little bit for a bit of definition. Go auto on that. See what it's gonna do. We want warmth. We'll stick it as shot. That will have to do. I think I shot these wide open at f4, so no dust spot. Well, there is a few dust spots down here where they usually are, but we will have some ISO noise as a problem. Try to flatten it out as best as you can. Right, let's sync those together. And then do a very simple blend in Photoshop. Once this loads, come on. Right. Same as before, just a quick blitz through the blend modes. I was hoping multiply would work better than that. Well, it maybe's perked me up a bit, Alan. Right. You know, I said earlier that pin light sometimes gets me well, I wouldn't say rescues me, but that little blob of red there, forget about what it does up here. We can get rid of that. Urkel, yes, I'd a couple, well, maybe 2 years ago, I was on one of Thomas Heaton's videos. That's where you will have probably seen me. That's when people started watching lots of my videos. Or should I say lots of people started watching my videos. Right. So that layer, if all we do is mask and then paint in with white, full res, there we go, in that area, bring that splodge there. See, now we're going to get abstract. We're going to get abstract. We've got that bit of red there. And that layer, so that's the base layer that's there. That's good. I wonder if I try to move this, does that move? Yeah, that just moves that there. So we will leave that position. About there. Something like that. Let's wing it. Wing it and see. And so if we move this one around, does that No, it doesn't. It just goes other areas. Yeah. Thought it might have been more entertaining than that. Where's the edge? There's the edge. Right, back to center. Okay, let's go with that. Curves adjustment layer. Darken the darker bits down. Yeah, something like that. Not quite effective by itself. Yeah, it's all about doing something until you like it. The thing is, that's turned a bit magenta-y up there, which we can do without. Go hue and saturation. That's having no effect whatsoever. Let's go for the reds. It's annoying. Yeah, well, we'll just have to make do with that there. Right, so castle, floating in the sky, red blobs. Analog Efex Pro just to see what happens. That was me, Urkel. Flinging my camera around. Making Tom do it as well. That's starting up. Yeah. All good fun. What's been going on? Right. Go shortly. Otherwise, you'd be all very, very bored of me. Right. It might be a case that it doesn't really work in Analog Efex Pro because it might obliterate the usefulness of those two smudges. Those two red smudges. And I'm just going down the only one that kind of does anything. Come on, come on, come on. That's going very magenta. Okay, let's not do anything. Right, let's. I think the only thing I'm going to use is double exposure. And that is really just to. So I can do anything with that. These red splodges. Not really happening. Sometimes it just doesn't. Could maybe position that there and do a bit of it as a square crop. Then the vignette, and let's just change. So, use that as the highlighting point and surround it with darkness. Which I'm not sure if that works, to be honest. That Right, let's just zero that back to the starting point, and let's go. What am I doing? Come on, Andy. Brain. Engage the brain. Lift a bit of blue into there. Or not. Just feeling it was a bit yellow. Not happy. Not happy. Benny, sometimes there's a bit of pre-visualization or yeah, you know, going in with a rough idea, but generally there's a lot of tinkering and just seeing what happens, seeing what strikes a chord. I like the whole, oh, this little mark here makes the image kind of thing, but I don't think this being in Analog Efex Pro is doing anything for it. I think what I might actually do, I'm just going to create a new layer with all that added together. Control Shift Alt and E for those that don't know. And then this one, go to darken, I think. Edit, then go free transform. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And then do some flailing around. Let's keep it scale. Let's go to yeah, it's not. No, it ain't happening. I think just this image itself with a simple crop. Actually, let's just do the crop in Lightroom as normal. So we'll just save that. Surely it shouldn't take too long. It's only 5 layers. Peter, it's watching the cogs turn as I'm. The confusion and frustration on my face as I'm trying to do things. But yeah, it's just lots of tinkering. I mean, this is how this style came around, and this way of processing is just from hours of tinkering and then realizing that a certain way of processing does this or does that, and then just running with it, calling it your style and your art, and then before you know it, people are asking for help and things like that. It's the smoke. You can see it coming out my ears, Chris. Brain's burning. And I'm grinding hard. Right, so maybe it's just a little bit of... No. Actually, maybe it's a little bit lighter. Lift shadows? No. Yeah, just, oh, there's a little bit nice transition in this little area here. You can see it on my screen anyway. Transition from slightly lighter to very, very dark. So we're going pure black in this corner, but we're going to chop that off, I think, in my head. So yeah, this is kind of the, I'm going to give that a 3 so I know where it is. No, that's finished. So crop wise, we start 2x3, didn't we? I think it needs to tighten up a bit. Because originally I was thinking one by one, and then I just saw this corner here, because 1 by 1 fairly tight, like that. So the two red marks are quite apparent and quite important. I think actually you could get away with that. Maybe drop a a doodah, a doodah. Drop a grad filter over the top to kind of hold in that sky. As dark as that, Andy. Just hold the sky in a bit. You've still got that red. It's fairly strong. Create a new virtual copy. Peter, I was thinking like a fantasy. I'm currently listening to the Fellowship of the Ring again. Because I ain't reading that bloody thing again. I am listening to it. And obviously I've got Middle Earth in my head. Not it's not a specific place, but I can see Tatooine and Jabba's palace in this as well. Right, so what do I want to do? I want to... I don't know, I've lost track. This stream is too long. It's been going on long enough. Right, a little bit highlight just to boost that yellow. Starting to lose some of the colour now. So, vibrance, we want to boost the vibrance. Clarity, yeah, knock the clarity back a bit so it softens things a little bit. Bit of dehaze, just a smidgen. Just experiment, see where you're happy with it. Something like that. Looks better on my screen than what it does on the preview on the other one. So hopefully my screen is right. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let me choose. Zoom out to 33%. I'm going to do a radial filter. And I'm going to start it about here. Let me do it. Damn computer. Damn Lightroom. I'm at about here because I want to kind of give that corner a fairly heavy vignette. I'm going to make the feather tighter. Go. Why is it giving me 2? You can disappear. There we go. I'm just kind of holds that in a little bit more without affecting that red too much. Done. Faster, computer, faster. Right, that's better. I think. Right. Thank you, Peter. I don't know. It feels a bit of a struggle, but we'll call it there. It's long enough. Aye. Yeah, we've had that one, and then the second one from David's images I quite liked in the end. Nice and loose, my usual loose kind of very abstract landscape kind of thing. So that's ended up quite good. Apologies for keeping you so long. It's already 10 to 9. So I am going to retire to the living room. See what rubbish is on telly. So I thank you very much for watching tonight, spending your evening or afternoon or morning or whatever with me. Very much appreciated. It's remarkable that I still don't understand people watch me. Just anyway. It's only 4 p.m. now. Oh, you're all right, dude. Alex, should be working. You would. I've got a red mark on my nose. I must have been scratching it. Thank you very much, Kazi. Next stream, Alex, will be in 2 weeks' time. I'll not be here next Tuesday. I've got a camera club talk, so I will see you in 2 weeks. Normally it's every Tuesday, but it depends what's going on. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you in 2 weeks' time. Unless you want to watch me playing games on Twitch really badly, then I will be streaming randomly Hopefully get one more. Hopefully get a stream in before the end of the week over on Twitch. But it'll not be photography. It'll be me playing games very badly. So thank you very much for watching tonight, everybody. Thank you, Sten. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Aileen. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Kazzy. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Alan. And everybody else who's still here. Thank you very much for your time and your support. Much appreciated. If you're not already, then please do follow me on all the various things on the bottom there. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up or a like. Leave a comment if you can, once it's offline. And everybody that's watching it on Catch Up, thank you very much for watching on Catch Up. Very much appreciated. And yeah, that'll do. Apologies for waffling too much today. There I am, waffling again. So, right, we will end it here now. Otherwise, I'll continue waffling. So until the next one, which will be in 2 weeks' time, but there will be a vlog out before then. Not going to commit to when. There will be a short vlog out before then. So keep an eye out for that. Remember, be subscribed, and you will get those hopefully get those notifications. So until the next time, keep it hard. See ya.